evening. Welcome to Luntha Television. It's time for news coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. You'll be with me, Fales Chizombe. Now let's take a look at the headlines. Pope Francis arrives in the Democratic Republic of Congo as he starts his apostolic journey. Minister of Education challenges the youth to be more innovative. DVV International moves to fight poverty through adult education. And in other news, South Sudan bans flights before Pope's visit. Now the news in details. Pope Francis has arrived in Kinshasa as he starts his apostolic journey to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The flight landed at the Njili International Airport in the DRC capital of Kinshasa at 2:33 p.m. local time. The Holy Father will first visit the nation from today up to 3rd February, following in the footsteps of Pope St. John Paul II, who visited there in 1980 and 1985. We have a Vatican report.
Before leaving his Vatican residence at the Casa Santa Marta, Pope Francis met with about 10 migrants and refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan, who are supported along with their families by the Jesuit-run Central Astali in Rome. Cardinal Konrad Jesuski, the prefect of the Dicastery for Charity, accompanied the group for their visit with the Pope. Upon arriving at the airport, the Pope's car stopped briefly near the monument to the fallen of Kindu as the 13 Italian airmen killed in Congo on 11th November 1961 are known. The Holy Father dedicated a prayer to the victims of the massacre and to all those who lost their lives participating in humanitarian and peace missions before proceeding towards the Papal Plain. At the completion of this journey on Sunday, marking the Pope's 5th visit to Africa, he will have visited 60 countries since the start of his pontificate. In 2015, he went to Kenya, Uganda and the Central African Republic, and in 2017, he visited Egypt. Then in March 2019, he made an apostolic journey to Morocco and later to Mozambique, Madagascar and Mauritius in September 2019. The Pope was forced to postpone this visit to DRC and South Sudan, originally scheduled for July 2022 due to intense knee pain.
The Minister of Education, Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, has called on the youth to always be innovative and use the knowledge they get from school in creating tools of development. Speaking during the commemoration of the International Day of Education, the minister encouraged teachers to continue motivating the youth in school to always be thinking outside the box. Nyalonje further said as human beings we are creative enough to come up with ways and tools to help people, and the nation and the country needs together with the youth is that positive push for these creative ways to bear fruit. Report by Bridget Saidi.
The International Day of Education was, according to the United Nations, set as a platform to showcase the most important transformations that have to be nurtured to realize everyone's fundamental right to education and to build a more sustainable, inclusive and peaceful future. In today's commemoration, which was held at Mbidzi CDSS in Lilongwe, the Minister of Education, Honorable Agnes Nyalonje, called upon the general public to take part in pushing and motivating children to be innovative, saying the role of education cannot be attained if there is no or if there is less encouragement towards innovation.
So the role of education is to encourage innovation. To encourage innovation means that you have to be a kind of teacher, you have to be a kind of system, not just teachers, but the whole system has to be geared in such a way that it provides opportunities for children to think freely, learners to think freely, to be creative, to have ideas, and never to tell a child that their ideas are stupid, because there's no ideas really that are stupid. If one thinks another idea is stupid, it means that already they've been challenged to think of a better one. So that stupid one has had a role to play.
One of the innovative students from Lekuni Boys, Innocent Mandiri, applauded the minister for recognizing his work, saying he was motivated to come up with his innovations, which are a cooking stove that also generates electricity and a manure processor, looking at the challenges of electricity that is currently affecting everyone.
I was see that in our country, like in local societies, we find that many people are still struggling issues concerning like electricity, and there I developed a machine for production of electricity, which I call it as a thermal stove. As well as there are many challenges that we are facing, as well as in agriculture, and I develop a manure processor, and also issues concerning water contamination, and also raw industries or local industries that is like in the villages. So I consider them with a bifunction feeder, so that their industrial should be at least advanced, or their industry, their issue concerning industry should be at least advanced. Yeah.
In his remarks, General Secretary for Teachers Union of Malawi, Charles Kunchenga, said today's commemoration stand as a reminder that they are professionals and that they should always remember that they are duty-bound to protect and motivate children in all the schools, be it privately owned or public.
I think from what we have seen today, or what we have heard today, is that we have been reminded as Teachers Union of Malawi that we have responsibilities and we have roles, and we must remember that we have that duty of protecting our children in our schools. And not only teachers, even the students themselves, they must know their limits. They should not over-exercise their powers, because out of those powers, they have the responsibilities also.
This year's commemoration took place at Mbidzi CDSS and has been held under the theme to invest in people, prioritize education. For Luntha Television News, this is Jacqueline Saidi.
That report was filed by Jacqueline Saidi. Moving on, the Human Rights Defenders Coalition, HRDC, has expressed optimism that there will be a good change in the way the Office of the Director for Public Prosecution, DPP, delivers its legal services with the coming in of Masako Chankagala as the new DPP. This follows the confirmation on Chankagala in the position by the Public Appointments Committee (PAC) of Parliament on Monday afternoon. According to HRDC Vice Chairperson Michael Kayata, having seen what he is capable of, looking at how he transformed Legal Aid Bureau as director, they already know that if given this chance, he will also do well in his new office. He, however, emphasized that one of the priorities he should focus on is creating a good working relationship between his office and all agencies responsible for fighting corruption, including the Anti-Corruption Bureau. Tandiwe Mzumara filed this report.
Masako Chankagala's appointment as the Director of Public Prosecution by President Lazarus Chakwera 2 weeks ago came following the firing of Dr. Stephen Kayuni after he lodged a complaint to the police over a leaked audio, a development that led to ACB Director General Martha Chituma's arrest. Confirming in her remarks to journalists, Public Appointment Committee PAC of Parliament Chairperson Joyce Chitsulo said 14 out of 16 members of the committee present voted yes for Chankagala, having been satisfied with his experience and how he worked at Legal Aid Bureau as Director General.
Having gone through the process, the committee felt that he is a good candidate for the position, and that if the position is given to him, definitely he's going to make things happen.
Concurring with PAC of Parliament that Chankagala is the right person to execute the duties of the DPP, noting that he already made a good impression with his track record, having worked at Legal Aid Bureau, Human Rights Defenders Coalition HRDC Vice Chairperson Michael Kayata has emphasized on the need for good collaboration with the Anti-Corruption Bureau ACB and all agencies responsible for the fight against corruption. Kayata went further to appeal to Chamkagala to ensure the expedition of all corruption cases as one way of restoring public trust in the fight against corruption.
There's no collaboration under the previous DPP between the office of the DPP and other agencies, especially the ACP, because of the numerous issues, personal issues that were there between the previous holder and the director of the ACP. So with the coming of Tankagala, we are hoping that he's going to take steps to ensure that his office is collaborating with other agencies in the fight against corruption.
Meanwhile, Chamkagala has promised Malawians that he will bring change and enhance the working relationship with the Anti-Corruption Bureau ACB and also ensure that there is harmony between different agencies fighting corruption in the country. The Public Appointments Committee of Parliament has also confirmed Hilary Chilomba as the new Deputy Director General for the Anti-Corruption Bureau ACB. The committee's chairperson, Joyce Chitsulo, said Chilomba got 14 votes out of 16 members who voted. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Tandiwe Msumara.
The Center for Democracy and Economic Initiative, CEDED, has called on government to take back home Malawians who are reportedly being maltreated in places of work in the Middle East. In a statement, Sylvester Namiwa, director for CEDED, says they want the government to ensure that the people, mostly women, are not victimized in their labor ordeals in Oman and other countries. Priska Mashushu has more in this report.
The issue has dominated the news in recent months, with an initial indication by government that efforts remain underway to take the people back home. Namiwa added that Malawians are being maltreated, sexually abused, and when asking for mercy, they are told that they are bored. Hence, they should pay back their money so that they can free them. And only 3 women has regained their freedom after refunding the money. Furthermore, Namiwa said that if the government was serious with the matter, it could have used funds for the unforeseen circumstances in order to ensure safety of the people, just like when xenophobia was happening in South Africa and similar action was taken to rescue Malawian students trapped in a COVID-19 lockdown in China.
We are deeply concerned that 60 of our young women are in slavery in the Middle East country of Oman. And the 6, they cannot be traced, they are feared dead. It all started with a promise for good life, good working environment in the Middle East. But what happens is that these people lose contact with their local agents the moment they arrive in Oman. And straight from the airport, they will have their travel documents and permits confiscated, and they are driven straight to work. It is saddening to note that one is assigned to take care of a very big family, let's say of 10 families, comprising about 40 members. Now, imagine living inside and out, 2-story building, making room for 40 people. That means they have to work round the clock, and they are surviving on water and a few slices of bread.
CEDED challenges President Chakwera to address Malawians and acknowledge his government's awareness about the Oman enslaved Malawians. Last year, government of Malawi sent a delegation to Oman in October in order to pursue the matter, but the effort was in vain. For Luntha TV, this is Priska Mashushu.
You are still watching news on Luntha television. Now let's have a look at the headlines once more before we proceed. Pope Francis arrives in the Democratic Republic of Congo as he starts his apostolic journey. Minister of Education challenges the youth to be more innovative. DVV International moves to fight poverty through adult education. And in other news, South Sudan bans flights before Pope's visit. Moving on, The DVV International, an organization working in the promotion of adult literacy education, says it is committed to fight poverty across the country through its project in adult education. DVV International Regional Director for the Southern Africa, Gerald Nkinkwe, has made the remarks during an orientation for the media professionals on how to write stories on adult learning and education that helps to improve well-being of people in communities. He said through provision of technical skills to its beneficiaries, they are reaching out to more people with expertise on how to move out of poverty. Bridget Manoka has more in this report.
DVV International promotes innovative participatory methodologies of community learning that responds to the needs of youth and adult learners, such as community learning centers. According to DVVI's Gerard Quenk, who is the regional director for the Southern Africa, most adults who failed to undergo studies during their childhood have little knowledge on how they can improve their livelihoods in a society, thereby creating more poverty among them. He said through their projects that mostly target rural communities, they are able to impart knowledge on more people on how they can effectively conduct businesses and other personal projects.
We believe that communication is crucial because in many countries the importance of possibilities for adult learning and education and lifelong learning is not considered well enough. We need education for every child, that is very true. But at the same time, many adults have not had the chance to go to school, to learn enough, and should we leave them alone for the rest of their life? I think without skilled and educated adults, the nation cannot develop. And so it's very much important, and we hope that communication on that aspect will spread out.
During the orientation workshop, which was held in Lilongwe, journalists have been equipped on how they can effectively write competitive stories that promote adult learning and education as one way of increasing awareness on its programs. Crispin Luanja of Voice of Livingstonia Radio is one of the journalists who participated.
I had little knowledge to do with RA, as you know that here in Malawi we only focus on this literacy concerning children, not the adult one. So it was very hard for me to understand this area. So with this training, I have now understand the area and what it's all about. So it means that I'll write good stories and my reporting will improve on that area.
Among others, DVV International has committed with relevant stakeholders to advocate for policy change and budgets at local and national level. Currently, DVV has taken a lead role in influencing and supporting the review and adoption of the National Adult Literacy and Lifelong Learning Policy. Bridget Manoka, for Luntha News in Lilongwe.
World Bank representatives have expressed satisfaction on how communities in Balaka district are using their new developed app meant for monitoring and evaluation in the ongoing Climate Smart Public Works project. At a meeting that World Bank conducted with foremen from Chimpakati Kashmir area under Traditional Authority Jantonia, it was noted that the local men are able to use the app without much challenges, and it has also shown positive results on how participants in the project are responding and doing their work, hence enhancing transparency. The team leader from World Bank, Astrid Automation, said the meeting was meant to monitor if the app called Kobo Correct is being used correctly or see if it needs improvement since it is in its pilot stage. Rashida Maranika forwarded this report.
With support from the World Bank through Government of Malawi's social protection initiatives, About 18,200 people selected from all the traditional authorities in Balaka district are participating in public works, which involves participants taking part in transforming their communities by restoring degraded land and instilling best agriculture practices in their fields, and in return getting money amounting to 28,000 Malawi kwacha after 24 days as a token of appreciation. This is why World Bank representatives visited the district to appreciate if the newly developed Kobo Collect app, which foremen are using in marking registers of participants, is effectively working. Speaking to the media after the meeting, which took place at Boma TDC, team leader from the World Bank, Astrid, said so far the foremen who are the implementers of the app have faced little challenges that can easily be fixed, and they are ready to roll it to other areas and districts.
I'm very impressed. The level of foremen that were recruited is very high. They were very responsive and learned very quickly in the new version of the app that we were able to show them. So I'm very impressed, and I'm very much looking forward to rolling out the app now in other communities based on how well this intervention went.
One of the foremen, Felix Ben Chikuni, has also commended the app, saying it is better than the use of manuscripts.
App imeneyi tikuyigwiritsa ntchito pochonga mayina a mabeneficiary kapena ogwira ntchito amene amaliza komanso pali ena amene sanamalize. Timachongera kugwiritsa ntchito imeneyi imene tili ndi mafomu malog form amene timayamba kuchonga amenewo then timabweresa ndikumachongano kuzerano pa app imeneyi.
The app is meant to be used in all the districts for monitoring purposes by all parties in the project, as it is being tried at one of the catchment areas of Chimpakati under Senior Chief Chantunya in Balaka district. For Luntha TV in Balaka, this is Rashida Matandika reporting.
Meanwhile, the Balaka District Liaison Officer Pieta Jombozo says the participants have responded positively to the project, and it is evident on the ground that they are willing to work for the transformation of their areas. Rashida Matandika reports.
According to Balaka District Liaison Officer Peter Chiumbuzo, under the Climate Smart Enhanced Public Works project, the vulnerable but labor-capable persons are participating in the 24 days works to be paid as part of government's social protection, which is a different category from the cash transfer category, where those that are labor-constrained are getting support without working. Chumbuzo said the first cycle, which started in December, has come to an end, and wages are being prepared to sort out the participants through e-payment. He has expressed satisfaction on how the communities have worked.
Yes, if you go in the villages, you'll find that we've got a very tangible evidence. If you go in the areas and you go into the people's fields, you'd find that we've got the swallows there that is actually, or that are actually reducing the runoffs. We've got the check dams made of like stone bands. We've got the check dams made of sacks, sand-filled sacks. All these are interventions that will actually reduce land degradation.
Each participant is getting 1,200 kwacha per day, and participants in the project are not allowed to be on both cash transfer and the Climate Smart Public Works project, as the penalty of it is disqualification from both categories. The project is being funded by the World Bank and will run for 2 years. For Luntha TV in Balaka, this is Rashida Matantika reporting.
In international news, all flights have been banned in South Sudan ahead of Pope Francis' visit on Friday, with the Civil Aviation Authority telling airlines they must cancel or postpone their services until normal timetabling resumes on Monday. The 86-year-old pontiff has made several visits to Africa since becoming Pope in 2013, but this is his first visit to the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan. On Saturday in Juba, the Pope will read a prayer video with Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and the moderator of the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Scotland, Lev Ian Glenshout. The government of South Sudan has also declared Friday a public holiday so that people can turn out in big numbers to receive the Pope and the two religious leaders. And now that concludes our today's news bulletin. But before we go, let's take a look at our headlines once more. Pope Francis arrives in the Democratic Republic of Congo as he starts his apostolic journey. Minister of Education challenges the youth to be more innovative. DVV International moves to fight poverty through adult education. And in other news, South Sudan bans flights before Pope's visit. You have been with me, Fales Yuzombe. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye for now.